Hi everyone, nice to see you again. And oh my God, I'm saying it again for like what is it, the third, the fourth day in a row. Here in the UK, we are having a very exciting heat wave. I hope everybody's out there enjoying the sun. We're starting to get, so what happens in England? We go on and on and on about like, oh, it never sunshine, we don't have the sunshine, blah, blah, blah. It's always grey, it's always raining, the weather's never very good. And then we get this like intense heat come across and we're like, oh my God, like the first day we're all like, oh, I love it. And then we go out and get burnt. The second day we're like, oh, I can't sit down because like you burnt your ass. And then the third day you're like, oh, now, it's just like really muggy and it's uncomfortable. And then the fourth day you're like, oh, I need to buy a fan. Oh, it's so hot. It's like I can't sleep. Saying all this, I actually only had about 3.5 hours sleep last night, and I think there's a few reasons. Like number one, getting back quite late from a networking event in London, which was amazing. But yeah, I think the heat did have something to do with it too. Anyway, we're not well equipped for this. We are excited about it, but then we also do seem to moan about it too. I think the the paddling pool sales have hit an all-time high in the last like day or two now as well. Anyway, I am not here to talk about the UK climate or current state of weather that we're having right now. I actually want to talk about fear. We can all relate. Everybody. I mean, basically, if you like take the two kind of human drivers down to their bare roots, you've got fear and desire or love. Everything extenuates from there. Literally everything. You could like break it all down and back to that. So yeah, we definitely have all experienced fear. And I bet, if I say fear one more time, you'll definitely have something in your mind that you can kind of think, oh, yeah, it was either today, yesterday, last week, last month, year ago, whatever. But there's always something, isn't there? So I thought I'd just kind of go through a couple of ones that I've had and then tell you like sort of what I did to approach them and to kind of get over them. Because in the end, these fears, they're created in here, by ourselves, by our own minds. I mean, they're influenced by our environment and we are very susceptible to our environment. Oh, I can't wait to do another video all about environment, but we'll move away from that. But yeah, just so that you are aware, you step into a good environment, it's easier to get over certain fears. If you go into a bad environment, it kind of creates a place where fear kind of breeds and grows and stuff. It's not so cool. Anywho, so yeah, certain fears. I mean, okay, so not a lot. Literally, I don't think anybody believes me when I tell them this, but I actually, I had quite a lot of social anxiety when I was younger, and I would say that only really got broken down properly. Well, it started getting broken down. Where are we now? 6 years ago. But then kind of properly broken down when I became a personal trainer. And I didn't even think about it. So like, for example, the reason that I wanted to be a personal trainer at the time was just that, life had sort of taken a few twists and turns and I didn't quite know what to do with myself. But I knew I loved physical exercise and being active, and I was already being active, and I'd already managed to like pick up a client unbeknown to really either of us, but I ended up kind of coaching somebody just naturally, and it was them who suggested it, and then I was kind of like, yeah, okay, give that a go. So yeah, I became a personal trainer, and but I loved all the study. Everything was great there. But okay, so I'll start with this at the actual examination point. So I was pretty I'm quite fairly studious, I think. I do okay. And I kind of knew my stuff. I felt good about my level of knowledge and everything. But it came to examination day, and I was like, yeah, I'll go first. So I was like, I know myself, I want to get it over and done with. It was like, as far as I think, it's like, it's all there, it's all fresh in my head. I just want to like blurt it out so that I can get it done and chill. So yeah, I'd said that, and then like within a few minutes, really, I started to feel like that kind of tightness pushing in on your chest, and then this like kind of weird sensation that you get in your throat. And I just started to really feel quite uncomfortable and anxious, and I was like, what? And yeah, I could relate it back to a couple of experiences that I'd had before, so I kind of knew what was going on. I was like, I was approaching a panic attack, and I was like trying to like squish all that down, and I was like, Laura, you're fine. Can you like get a freaking grip here? Okay, now is not the time. Now is not the time. So yeah, but clearly body was like definitely not responding to that, not listening at all. So yeah, I started to feel this happening, and I was getting to the point where I knew that I wouldn't be able to speak, and that I would kind of like, you know, not do very well, and then that stressed me even more, because then I was like, now I'm not going to be able to, anyway, blah 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 blah. So anyway, I left the room, kind of asked for like 10 minutes or something like that. Well, 2 minutes, which turned into about 15. So what it was I had this huge overwhelm, and I got really emotional. And in the past, and I kind of know anyway, then in the past, the way I deal, and generally the way I deal with things when I hit a wall or I hit a problem, is it's with action. I'm not very good at like and breathe and be relaxed and think of calm, beautiful thoughts and think of the gentle breeze, and you know, I don't know, whatever people say, you know, to meditate. To like, I'm not saying it doesn't work, I'm just saying that is not like my general approach. My general approach is fuck that. That is usually that's like been my historic approach. So yeah, this was that was what was happening. I was like, I need to move. Like, I knew what was happening, and I just felt like in my whole body was like there was just angst, you know, tension there. Started to feel shaky. So there was a stairwell. So I might sound mental, but whatever. It kind of works actually. So bear with it. But yeah, ran up and down the stairs. Just so I was focusing my breathing, I was focusing my thoughts, I was moving my body, so I was like kind of moving those chemicals around rather than sitting there and letting them just do this inside me. So I was like trying to get rid of them. So I was doing that, but I sort of felt like it was working. After you do that, that's when then I started to do the, you know, the deep breathing stuff, diaphragmatic breathing, and you know, there's good reason for diaphragmatic breathing as well. Again, it's you breathe a certain way when you're running, and you breathe a different way when you're like cool, calm, collected. So it's breathing the right way to kind of put your body saying, no, we're not running, we're okay now. Anyway, so I did that for a while, and eventually I kind of got everything back in balance. So all those things that would like flooded me, that I kind of couldn't control at the time, I managed to bring back into control and into alignment. So I went back into the room, and the guy was like, you know, you don't, you know, you can take some time out, you can go last and all that. I was like, no, I'm all good. Let's go. Let's do it. So yeah, got out there and did it and passed with flying colours. So that all went well. So I was like, well done me. Anyway, so that was that. And then, but then the whole experience. So when I actually started doing the job interview stuff for PTs and stuff like that, there was quite a lot of like, so they wanted to see how you would interact with the public, and how you would be talking to strangers and what you're like and all that kind of thing. So I was like, okay. And I was like, well, like in my head, I was thinking to myself, what the hell am I gonna say? I was like, I'm not a sales person, really. I'm not very good at that. As soon as anything sounds like really salesy, then I get proper turned off. So I find it hard to do as well. unless I'm doing it sort of tongue in cheek, or it's really like it's like this is a must, you know. So I suppose, oh dear, here I go arguing with myself. That is then about sort of how much you value the service that you're putting out there. If you don't hold it in high enough value, then it's difficult to then sell, isn't it? But as soon as you value what you're putting out there, then it's easier to talk about and it's easier to sell, because you just believe in it. So you're not selling it anymore, because you're not selling it to yourself, you're not selling it to anyone else, you know it, you believe it, you're so anywho, so oh dear, some of the times as that I had to do certain things and like go and do kind of group stuff, or before, in the beginning, it was like the first, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks. But my tactic for before I had to go and like walk the floor and like go and just like talk randomly to people, or give them like little mini group sessions or whatever it was, I would go up and there was a nice corner and there was a big punch bag. I was like, yes. So I would go and just like let loose on the punch bag, and that would like properly pump me up, and then I would be like totally mentally in the zone, physically in the zone, and ready to kind of like go get shit done. And I loved it, and it kind of became, well, I say it became a routine. I mean, I probably did it, let's say, less than 10, maybe eight times or something like that. But I had strategies, so when something's like scaring you, rather than like, okay, and then you kind of get like lost in this fear, and it all like consumes you, and then you're like not sure what to do about it, and you're in your own head, you're just kind of doing this cyclical, oh fuck, oh shit, oh god, like all this kind of thing happening, and you don't know what to do, and you're just making it worse for yourself. Like, actually, like take yourself physically out of that place. So, and that's a physical change of state, which creates a mental change of state, which puts you in a position where you can be not having a bloody panic, not being anxious about things, and feeling more chilled and in a better space to be able to deliver yourself in the way that better represents who you are. So yeah, that was the kind of the PT thing. Then I okay, yeah. I don't know how many of you might have seen or come across quite a bizarre little video that I did a few months ago now. And I really didn't do videos or anything like that. I've sort of, skipped it. I didn't even take selfies. I didn't like taking selfies. I found it, I just created, that's what we do. We create bullshit about stuff. And that then either gives us a positive or a negative to whatever that situation is. So, for example, taking a selfie, I wouldn't like, I don't know, I would find it a bit like, oh, hey, look, it's me. Like a bit like, I don't know, narcissistic maybe. And again, like, because I'd created an awareness for that, so I started to kind of think that way. So nobody else yeah, okay, we've got narcissists out there and they're pretty evident. I would say, I would hope that I'm not leveling with the narcissists. Okay, so, oh dear, that would be quite bad. But yeah, there's nothing wrong. That's how we like communicate with each other. That's what social media is all about. It's like, you don't just want to see words, you want to see pictures, you want to see who the person is that you're speaking to and everything. And, it's cool, it's fun. I think that's the thing. It's fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, and have fun. Yes. So yeah, I had all these kind of like things built up in my own head about what was okay to do and what wasn't, and that held me back. It held me back. So you can think about that in like a business sense, like advertising yourself, even on your CV, simple things like that, or interactions that you have in interviews. We kind of live in a continual interview situation almost. or so, yeah, you could see it like that a little bit. But you know, every time you meet someone new and everything, you're trying to put, well, you're at least not trying to put your worst foot forward. You might not try to be like, like trying to be super impressive. I think, you know, that can be a bit off-putting as well. Like, it's better to just kind of be yourself and be natural, but you're certainly not trying to be the worst version of you. You're trying to be like, you know, the better version of you. Or that if you're not, then word to the wise, that is probably something that you might want to think about having a change of for better interactions with people. But yes, we're constantly kind of like on this platform where, you know, we're advertising ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. So like advertising yourself on a CV, big yourself, like if you did something cool, say it. You know, if you're doing something and it represents, you know, something that people could be a little bit like, oh, look at them, you know, saying they're this or saying they're that or acting like they're so meh or whatever. Just freaking negative, naysayer, annoying, toxic people. It's them that's the issue, not you. As long as you've actually done those things and you're not bullshitting, then, you know, and you know, you value what you did and you recognize that it should be there, then like say it. You know, why not? Don't like, oh, okay, so I recently was hearing about this whole bragging situation and everything. I kind of understand it. I think it is really about levels, so it's more, but I think that's social awareness. Okay, so I'll explain that a little bit, for the sake of it, really. So if you've got somebody who has like no money, like none, they live paycheck to paycheck, and you know, they spend their time and any excess that they have on fuel, pizza and beer, let's say, because you know, I've kind of been there. So you know, people are living like that. And then there are other people who are like maybe talking about the latest, I don't know, amazing car they've bought, or some kind of important, I don't know, something that has like quite a high monetary value, or maybe an amazing holiday that they went on, you know, and they're really excited about it and they want to, you know, they want to share because it was an amazing experience for them, or they're really proud of themselves because they've done this deal, or they've bought this new car, or they've bought this, I don't know, amazing XYZ. You know, they're proud of themselves. They should be proud of themselves. You know, that is good. You are allowed and you should feel proud of yourself for achieving things. Absolutely. But then we have social awareness. So different people respond and react differently. And I think positive, genuine people will be happy on, like, so you could put that on like a circle, and you know, it would be okay, because in the end, you know, if you engage with someone and it's a good connection and you're talking about something and you're doing it from a genuine place and you're not just trying to like brag and boast and be a dick, then they're going to be happy for you and they're going to support you in that. The problem is when you like overdo it, or when, you know, there are signals that you can kind of see from people if they're just feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Like they might just be feeling a bit sad because they can't experience that kind of stuff, you know, and it makes them feel bad. Now, I'm not saying that you have to change every single thing that you say. Just be slightly aware, you know. It's emotional intelligence, it's social awareness. And yes, that was a tangent right there. So we were talking about selfies and self-promotion. That was it, self-promotion. So anyway, I had this thing, and I always, I didn't like the idea of doing videos. So when everybody was talking about, you know, Facebook, like everybody doing Facebook Live, or doing video posts and all that kind of thing, and I knew that I was going to need to do them, you know, to help share the message, communicate with people, and actually kind of enjoy them. This is like a nice little chat I'm having. And at some point you'll see it and hopefully interact. But yeah, and I was afraid of it. I was definitely afraid of it. So what did I do? What did I decide to do? I didn't want to be afraid of it anymore. So what do? You max out. Yes, this is kind of me. It's like all or nothing. It's like if I really know something's like holding me back or causing a problem or something like that, I'm like I'll ram it like a bloody bull in a china shop sometimes. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of like head on kind of person. And that works sometimes. Sometimes it could be approached better. And it also works differently for different people. So don't take that as like something that you have to do it as well. But it might work for you. So yeah, I thought to myself, what could I well, do you know what? Actually, that's not quite true. I didn't even plan this. What had happened was I was in the house alone. It was the evening. I was feeling really happy. I was in my pajamas or my nightwear. I'd put a face mask on, and I had my hair tied back, and I was listening to music. And there was this song that had come on, and basically I started listening to some really cheesy stuff, and I was just in such this like happy, bouncy, vibey place. And and what was the song? It was Whitney Houston. I think it's called How Will I Know or something like that. I'm not going to sing it for you right now. I'm so tempted. Shall I? No. Okay, here, have a look. Have a look. Scroll back through the videos. Maybe you'll find it. But it's basically me acting like a bit of a nutcase, and just like dancing and singing along to this track. And I decided to record it. I was like, this is it. I was finding it hilarious. Now just consider this. So I was doing something that I was genuinely scared about. However, I'd created, and not even on purpose, like I said, it was just that was sort of something that I was doing, but I'd created a place for myself, a mental state that I was in, like, I was just happy. I was like positive, the energy, like I had a great energy, like inside, like that's how I was feeling. So I wasn't like thinking, oh God, what can I do? And how can I be like, oh, I don't know, create something special or whatever. It was just, that's what it was. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to record it and put this on Facebook. Won't that be hilarious? This, by the way, was also done alcohol free. So just imagine what I can get up to when I've had a couple of drinks. Anyway, so yeah, I posted it on Facebook. And then after that, now what I could have done is have like a, oh my God, what have I done? What if nobody likes it or something like that? But you know what? I was like, it kind of mini epiphany moment. It was like, it didn't actually matter. It didn't actually matter if loads of people liked it or didn't like it or thought I was a complete freak or whatever, because I did it for me. I was doing it for me because it was me getting over this problem, and it was also doing it in like what was a really fun way for me. So it was just like, it was win-win. As far as I was concerned, it was win-win. Anyway, as it happens, everybody, well not everybody, but loads of people also found it really quite funny. And really, that was the goal. That was the goal. So I did hear for somebody that might not be the best way to brand oneself, in a face mask, dancing like a fool to Whitney Houston. I mean, I would challenge that. Probably not. But anyway, yes, that what I'm saying is like, if there's something that really scares you and makes you nervous, you can either tackle it like head on in a kind of like a challenge kind of thing, saying, no, I'm going to take control of this. Stand back and take action kind of thing. Or you can put, so that's like they're all like affirmative actions, positive actions, and they put you either in a position of control. Now, the only thing with, depending on where you're coming from, so when you're tackling fear, if you're tackling fear in a kind of like a challenge mentality, then that has potential to like come around and bite you in the butt. But it does work. It does work. But the best way to approach and tackle any fear is create fun around it, create excitement. So anxiety is basically like, and all those chemicals that you kind of get that flood through you, your kind of stress, your stress hormones. It's all a very similar reaction to excitement. So if you can turn that physical state from like fear and like anxiety and like concern, worry, desperation, whatever it is, and like flip that around so that it's fun, find your way to do it, then freaking, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna get over, it might take a few goes, but you are gonna start to then get over whatever it is that's kind of holding you back. And that, oh no, I won't. I was gonna say about pickup in bars. I was gonna go down the, like, how we get confidence with alcohol. So it's like practicing at the bar. You kind of you get your Dutch courage to kind of go over and walk up to someone and kind of be all brave and ask them if they want a drink, or see if they like you, or if they're gonna like just be like, ugh, go away, or whatever it is. But yeah, no, let's not go with alcohol. Alcohol has some problems. I mean, maybe a shot for Dutch courage, maybe, sometimes. In the right circumstances. Make it fun, positive circumstances, rather than the others. Oh, tangent, bad tangent. I wish I could rewind and edit that. I won't, we'll leave it in, but, Oh yeah, and then the other crazy kind of video I did, crazy, I got on a bit of a high about that video, so I thought, well, what else don't I like? So I'd done this. Or did I do it the other way around? Do you know what? I actually can't remember now. I can't remember which way around I did it. Anyway, there's one of me dancing around like a fool with a face mask on, and then there's another one of me singing. I can't remember her bloody name. Josie. So I don't know. Joyce. I don't know. It's a really like old kind of country song, and by kinda I mean absolute country song. About getting. I nearly sang again. Oh, look at me, all scared. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? That one. So yeah, I did. I sang into the camera like full face. That, and again, that was because like I don't sing in public. I do not have a good singing voice. I mean, I can just about get away with a few tracks on like a very small range. But anything else, and like if you asked me to sing at karaoke, honestly, like it'd be one of those situations where it's all funny for a while and then it's just embarrassing and you just kind of hope somebody else stands up and takes the mic. So it's really not like my thing at all. So anyway, I did that. So it's like I hit two of those things. It was like looking stupid, which I did very well, and then like singing and trying to sing seriously-ish as well. And putting that out there. And again, so it's sort of like a judgment thing, isn't it? Anyway, so we all have these barriers, these kind of things that hold us back. The thing is, you've got to kind of address, those things. They might not seem very, it might not have seemed like a big deal, but it was a big deal to me, and it actually really, really helped me start to just like not care, like care without caring about social media, and how I come across. Like now I just feel like I'm just being me, and if it comes across badly, well, it's just me being me. I mean we all have opinions, we all come across in a certain way. Some people might not like the way I come across, but again, like, that's okay. I don't, like, not everybody has to bloody like you. It's okay. You don't like everyone. I definitely don't like everybody. Okay, so I like a lot of people, but I definitely don't like everybody. So it's the same. So why do we get so hung up on like making sure the whole world likes us when we're very well aware of the fact that we don't like the whole world either? So can't we just like be balanced about that? It's like just accept it. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you're any worse or not, good enough or whatever. It's kind of more of a tribe thing then. So you've got to find your tribe, find your squad. Anyway, I have gone on and on and on. I have no idea how long I've been talking, but it's been forever. So, but that's fear, and kind of a few little insights into some of the fears that I've gone through and what I've done about them, and hopefully that's going to help you tackle your own fears, or maybe feel at least incentivized and motivated to identify them, because that's another thing we can covet. We can pretend things aren't a problem. That's a big one actually for humans. So because it's self-preservation, it's a challenge, and if we're not ready, if we don't feel strong enough to front up to a challenge or a fear or something like that, it's easier for us to blame circumstances. It's easier for us to blame other people. It's easier for us to blame just about everything else apart from ourselves. And then once we've blamed ourselves, instead of then being a victim of persona, let's say, because that's another thing, you can take ownership of certain things. So for example, like I could have said, oh, I struggle because I've a bit of social anxiety or stuff like that. I'm not used to interacting with people at this level and things like that. I could have like projected that out there. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not projecting that. That's not what this is about. I'm going to project the thing that I actually want to be, which is not have any of that, which is have confidence in front of people and be able to be myself and express myself freely and openly without fear on, in front of people on different mediums, on different levels. And that's what I did. I put a little post up before about, you are already the person that you aspire to be. You've just got to start acting like it. And that's mental conditioning and putting yourself in a mental state that's actually going to achieve that kind of change for you. So yes, I hope that's been helpful. Like genuinely, I do, and I say all of this stuff because I kind of want it to. I would like it to kind of help even just one person. They can kind of sit there and whether you like it, comment, whatever. I mean, I love it when people comment because it really feels like I'm having a conversation then. But so please do. But even if you don't, I know that we all have those fears. So if somebody or a few people out there can kind of like think, what, I'm gonna kind of do something to change a few of my fears, or one of my fears, or something like that. I'm gonna start taking steps. That would be amazing. That would be really, really special. So I really hope you do. Okay. Less stress, more success, everyone. That's what it's all about. So fear is a massive stressor. We want less of that. So let's eradicate it. And that helps you propel yourself towards greater success. I am definitely living in that place right now. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. So I bid you a good night and see you all soon. Have a great evening. Mwah. Bye bye.